Okay, fingerprint reader. This is a fingerprint reader or scanner. It will capture the curves and indentations of your fingerprints. So, organizations, they use fingerprint readers to secure doors, computers, and software. For example, Nadra, companies like Nadra would take your records, maintain your records. They also have keep your fingerprints, and your fingerprints will be detected against the ones that are saved at the Nadra's database. So then we have face recognition systems. It captures a live face image. So your phones have face recognition systems. So it will be, so once you save your image in your phone, so next time you will try to use your phone using that face recognition system. So it will compare your live face with a stored image to determine if you are a legitimate user or not. So, some buildings use face recognition systems to secure access to rooms. Law enforcement agencies use it, airports use it, and mobile devices nowadays also use it to unlock your devices. So, this face recognition program is becoming more sophisticated nowadays because they can recognize you with or without glasses as well. If you have take taken your face, you have your phone has saved your simple face, but you are in makeup or you are with a new hairstyle, it still recognizes you. Then we have hand geometry systems. Hand geometry systems, they measure the shape and size of your hand. See, this is a hand geometry system. So it will this hand geometry systems is very expensive. So it is used in usually large companies to track workers' time and attendance as a security device. Some colleges may use hand geometry systems to verify the identities of the people entering. Daycare centers, hospital, nurseries, they may use it. And then we have voice verification systems, which compares your live speech with whatever you have stored in your phone or with whatever is stored in the database of that device. So there are large organizations, they may use this voice verification system as time and attendance devices. Some companies also use this technology to access files and networks. Secure phone banking transactions may use voice verification systems. Then we have signature verification system. We all know that signature, when we are doing the signature, it is about the not only about the what you type, what you write, but it's about the pressure as well and the motion used to write. So the digital signature verification system recognize the shape of your handwritten signature as well as measures the pressure exerted and the motion used to write the signature. So signature verification systems, they use specialized pen and tablet. They are often used to reduce fraud in some financial institutions because everyone has a different style of doing the signatures, and they will definitely put some less pressure if you are trying to copy someone. So you will try to your applying pressure will be on the pen will be different from that person maybe. And then we have iris recognition system technology, which is very expensive. Because it is expensive, so it is only used in high security areas. So the camera in the iris recognition system uses iris recognition technology to read the patterns in the iris of the eye. So these patterns are as unique as a fingerprint, and they are quite expensive. So they are used by government security organizations, the military organizations, who have to deal with the highly sensitive data. So some organizations, they also use retinal scanners, so that they can recognize the retina pattern of blood vessels in the back of the retina. So this you see, this is an iris recognition system. These are some of the biometric devices being used at various organizations. And then we have two-step verification mechanism. So as the name indicates, in this you will use two ways one after the other to verify the identity of a person. So to attempt to further protect your personal data, only the username and password was not enough. So there is required some more. For example, what usually happens, your ATM usually requires this two-step verification. So you are using ATM card plus you are using ATM pin to access your account. So then you are while you accessing your bank account, you have to give your mobile phone number to sign in. You are using email address to sign in plus or a username and password, and then they will send a message to your mobile phone. So that authentication code which is being sent as a message on your phone, which is a second way of authentication method. So it will that code is valid only for a few hours or a few minutes, and if you do not sign in during that time limit, so you have to repeat this process and you have to request another verification code. So means you are being verified twice, once when you were entering your username, and then when you entered username and password, and then when you entered the that passcode that is being sent on your registered mobile phone. So that makes the two-step verification. You might have heard about digital forensics. So digital forensics involves the examination of programs, data, files, etc. On your computers, servers, networks, and examining of these programs is being done by, that is the evidence found on the computers and networks when something wrong has been done. So there is a digital forensics examiner who must have the knowledge of the law, some technical experience with many types of hardware and software products. He must have some communication skills. He must know the structures and policies, and he must also should have the know-how of how to examine the alteration of the programs and data and files on it. So there are many areas in which digital forensics work. Um, they are being used in the law enforcement agencies. They are being used by criminal prosecutors. Military intelligence also uses it. Insurance agencies can check it, and information security departments can discover, and they can check it when some crime has been committed. So not a normal person cannot do it, because he do not has the authority to discover and collect the evidence of any theft being done using the computers and the networks. Then we have different types of theft mechanisms, that is software theft, hardware theft, information theft. So software theft occurs when someone steals the software media, someone intentionally erases the program, or someone illegally registers or activates a program, and someone illegally copies a program. So when someone steals a software media, so which contains the software, that is if your software is on a CD, on a USB, and someone steals your USB, that makes it a stealing of your software. It can be a game CD, it can be a Windows CD or DVD. Then if someone intentionally erases your software, erases the media, for example, your friend borrows a USB device from you, and then they remove everything whatever it was in your that device. Or to be more at a higher level, let's see, there's a software developer uh, who is hired at a company, and it is being fired from the company. So he will take his revenge by removing or disabling all the programs that he has worked for while he was in that company, so that he has done a crime. It is also considered as a software theft. Then we have illegal registration or activation of the softwares. So a perpetrator illegally obtains registration numbers and activation codes. For example, uh, wrong keys of the softwares. There's a program that is known as a keygen or a key generator. It creates software registration numbers and activation codes which is wrong. So there are individuals that post key gens to on the website so that people can install softwares without purchasing it. Usually this Microsoft Office suite is usually people do not buy it. They use key generators to illegally generate or activate that program, which is a crime. Then we have illegally copying of a software, which is known as software piracy as well. So a perpetrator or a thief, he copies the software from the original manufacturers, and then he will simply resell it. He will duplicate it, and this is known as software piracy. It is the unauthorized and illegal duplication of the copyrighted softwares, which is most common form of software theft that is being done these days. Software theft can be done by doing various mechanisms. You can use a license agreement so that no one can use your make the copies of your software. So license agreement is the right to use the software, which has typical conditions as a single user license agreement. For example, if it is for a single user, it means you can install the software only once on one computer or device. There are some agreements which tell you that you can allow which allows you to install the software on some number of devices. So you can make one copy of the software as a backup only. You can give or sell the software to other individual, but you cannot install the software on a network, and you cannot give copies to your friends or colleagues. You cannot export the software, you cannot rent it, or you cannot lease the software. So this is the single user license agreement or the end user license agreement. So this license agreement provides these specific conditions for the usage of the software, so which you must accept before using the software. So whenever you are trying to install the software, these terms and conditions appear in front of you, and you will use it then. Then to support multiple users access of software, there are some manufacturers that sell networked versions or site licenses of the software, which will cost less than buying standalone copies of the network of the software for each computer, which is very common sense thing. That is, there you have 100 computers in your lab, so instead of buying 100 licenses for those 100 computers, you should buy one networked version of that site license, or you will buy a multi-user multi-user license software for that. So that will now be a legal agreement that will allow multiple users to access the software on the server simultaneously. So this network license fee is based on the number of users or the number of computers attached to the network. So this site license is the legal agreement that will allow you to install the software on multiple computers now. Then we have information theft. But before going to information theft, let me tell you some more about software theft. So to protect your software from being stolen, you can keep the original software boxes, the cover of the CD, or the if you have bought it online, so you can keep that information somewhere safe in a secure location. And then you don't want to lose your software, so you should back up your files and drives regularly. And you can protect your CDs and USBs softwares at a safe place, etc. And then we have information theft. As the name indicates, it is about the stealing the information. So when someone steals personal or confidential information of someone, so most organizations will attempt to prevent information theft by implementing user identification and access authentication controls that we have discussed earlier. So these controls are best suited for protecting information. So another mechanism is the encryption mechanism, which will further protect your information on internet and networks. That is, when you are sending your email, so that is being encrypted. You are entering some password on some website, so it is encrypted. It is in an encrypted form, so no one can read it while you are typing it. So encryption is a process of converting data that is readable by humans into something that is encoded. It is an encoded character to prevent unauthorized access. So this is an example of public key encryption. We have public key encryption and we have private key encryption. These are two basic types of encryption. So with private key encryption, there is a key that is known as a symmetric key, where both originator and the recipient use the same secret key to encrypt and decrypt the data. So it means it is private key encryption. Whereas in public key encryption, it is known as asymmetric key encryption, in which two encryption keys are being used, that is a public key and a private key. So in public key encryption, the software generates both of these keys, and then you will send the message encrypted with a public key, and it will be decrypted only with the corresponding private key. So the public key is made known to the message originator and the recipients. And for example, public key may be posted on a secure web page, or it can be emailed as well, whereas private key will be kept confidential. So the sender will create a document to be sent to via email to the receiver, and the sender will use the receiver's public key to encrypt the message. So he has actually encrypted it with the send receiver's public key. So the receiver will use his private key to decrypt the message. So when he will receive this message, he will decrypt the message with his private key. So in that case, the private key will keep this information confidential. So there are some operating systems and email programs that also allow you to encrypt the contents of files and messages that are stored on your computer. So you can also purchase an encryption program to encrypt files. There are some browsers who use encryption while sending private information. For example, whenever you are typing your credit card numbers, your debit card numbers on the websites, and they are being sent on the internet, so these browsers use some encryption, and your card numbers are not being uh, are still confidential. They are not being revealed. Then we can use the digital signatures and digital certificates. They also guarantee that whatever you have sent is authentic. So digital signature is an encrypted code that you will use, and any website can use it, any organization can use it by attaching it to an email to verify the identity of the sender. So often it is being used to ensure that an imposter who is sending, he is not participating in an internet transaction. So digital signatures are used to ensure that they can prevent email forgery then. So this digital signature can also verify that the content of the message has not been changed. So digital signatures are used to verify the identity of that sender. Then we have digital certificates, which is a notice on a website. It will tell that this website is legitimate, that user is legitimate. So whenever you are going to do some e-commerce, that is, you are going to buy something online, so it is being used, if that website has used digital certificate, then you will then use that website. So a website that uses encryption technique to secure its data is known as a secure website. So usually there is an S written by that website, which shows that the website is secure. So if a website does not have a valid digital certificate, means it has not used any encryption technique. So secure websites have often begin with HTTPS instead of HTTP. This I have already told you in chapter 2. So secure websites typically use digital certificates along with the security protocols. So every website that you use should be secure. So browsers will display a warning message if the website does not have any valid digital certificate. So if you see a website which has an HTTPS written on it, there is a lock made as well with it. So when you will click that on that lock, it will show you that the digital certificate of that website. You see, this is an HTTPS written. And when you click it, there is a lock, so it will indicate that it is a secure web page. So when you will tap or click it, you can view its certificate.